hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. Sing along. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Everyone turn to your neighbor, tell him. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. And to the new ministers, you are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You're my family. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God.
Thank you so much, Terry and Deb. Good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Jerry Carter, staff minister here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and I am so honored to be a part of this beautiful, beautiful sacred service this day, and I am welcoming in our procession. So Deb's going to play some music for us, and we're going to get started. Welcoming in Reverend Verona Garland, CSL, Palm Springs, Agape, Bay Area. Welcoming in Reverend Tara Steele, Staff Minister, CSL, Santa Rosa. Welcoming in Reverend Jeff Hargis, CSL, San Jose. Welcoming in Reverend Marcy Bencala, CSL, San Jose. Welcoming in Reverend Catherine Sachs, Staff Minister, Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Welcoming in Reverend Kathy Shermer, Staff Minister, Lighthouse CSL Livermore. Welcoming in Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman, Spiritual Leader and Senior Minister here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Welcoming in Reverend Robert Collins, Monterey Center for Spiritual Living, Senior Minister. And now it's my honor to welcome in the practitioners of Centers for Spiritual Living and practitioners from Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And now it is my honor to welcome in our candidates today, our ministers to be ordained here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Please stand. Okay, and Reverend Aikya Param is being escorted by her chaperone today. Let's give Reverend Aikya some love. Yes. And last but not least, Reverend Sally Bartholomew being escorted by her husband, Dave. Okay, you may be seated. And now, I'd like to introduce our own Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman. She's our senior minister, as I said, and spiritual leader here at Oakland Center. Reverend Sunshine.
Good morning and happy Saturday to all of you. I am here to welcome you and to tell you a little bit about what this is all about. You can tell it's a lot of pomp and circumstance on purpose. This is, as Reverend Jerry said, a ceremony, a ritual. It's a sacred time of ordination. And what happens is our ministerial candidates, they are already ministers, and they have been in a status called licentiate ministers. And when they reach that time of eligibility and they've fulfilled all their requirements, they then can move to ordination as an ordained minister for life. As you can tell, that is quite something. And that's why we treat it with such reverence, such honor, and such respect. So I welcome all of you to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living so that we can enjoy this time together. Let's give it a hand. As we do with all of our activities and events, we start and close with prayer. So I would like to welcome up to the podium one of our emerita practitioners, Dodie Cheney Fernandez to do the invocation.
Good morning, everyone. And I will introduce myself because I like to say, Dodie Cheney Fernandez, Emeritus, Oakland CSL. It feels good. So let us come together. In Dr. Dan, there's a writer that says, God only comes to our hearts and minds when we invite. So let's invite God in. Take a deep breath and let it go out slowly. Knowing that there's only one life, it's the life of God that's revealing itself in and through each of us. We give thanks in knowing that this life is with us wherever we are. That includes right here and right now. So giving thanks for the opportunity, for the honor to accept all of us into this wonderful space and place where we acknowledge Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, honoring them for all the studying and writing and submitting things to become a reverend, knowing that they had to sacrifice time and family time, but they kept moving forward. And every step of the way, the challenges, the information, it all mingled together. And they came to a complete ending of knowing that as they continue to grow in their spiritual avenues, opportunities arrive and shift them, that the goodness of God is revealing them this day as we honor them and accept that they are reverends. And each and every time they see the word Reverend Aikya, Reverend Sally, there's a spark that tingles inside of them. And every time they're referred to or heard from someone addressing them as Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, there's a feeling of accomplishment. There's a feeling of knowing that the life we live is God expressing continuously. For all of this and so much more, I give thanks that we're here today. I give thanks that even though it's raining outside and it's not as full as we would have had on a sunny day, we know that the power and presence of the energy of everyone here uplifts them, fulfills them in a joy to remember. So hold on to this moment. Hold on to this time together, knowing that God is revealing itself in, around, and through each of us, right here and right now. Only good can come to us, and only good goes away. For this and so much more, I give great thanks for it, and I release it, knowing that all is well. So please, affirm with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. And I would like to invite up the first reader, Deborah Jackson.
After that, who can follow? Thank you. As Dodie said, I am Deborah Jackson, and I have been a member of this congregation for over 40 years. I remember when Sally, as well as Reverend Aikya, came on this campus. I am excited for them today. And in this moment, I remember a couple of things for both of them, of both of them. I remember working with Reverend Aikya in her prison ministry, whereas I was a life coach for women of reentering the world. I remember working with her in terms of writing letters to the prisoners. And I also remember us doing fundraising for Science Mind magazine so we could send them to them. I am so proud to have worked with both of them. And then with Reverend Sally, I have spent many moments studying Aramaic teachings of God. We also belong to the Dr. Dan group, and what I have absolutely loved is how we pick up books, read them, talk about them, exchange. All these wonderful things about the spiritual process of God in us, operating as us. And more than anything, she has spent 10 years co-facilitating with me the Vision Board Party. That's the two women of which you are looking at coming forth for this ordination. The reading, I give thanks to Reverend Sally asking me to read for her. Peace be unto thee, stranger. And it's not on the program, but this is a poem by Ernest Holmes. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here. It sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. And I would like to welcome Reverend Catherine Sachs to the podium.
Gracias a Dios. Alhamdulillah. Thanks be to God that I'm here. And I thank Aikya for inviting me to do a reading for us this day from Deuteronomy, chapter 6. And I invite you not to read the program, but to sit quietly and perhaps even close your eyes and let the words enter you. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your mind and with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates. And so it is. And we will now hear the song, I Am the Place Where God Shows Up, sung by Terry Stanley and accompanied by our own Deb Santa Maria. And immediately following the song, Reverend Robert Collins will deliver our keynote message of ordination.
burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life. Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live the life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Hey, I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Yeah, I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Hey, I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Yeah, I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Hey, I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
I am, you are, we are the place where God shows up. Thank you, Terry and Deb, for that. That is also our congregational hymn or opening at the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. And so I bring you greetings this morning from the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living as I say, grand rising to the beloved community. It is an honor and a privilege to stand with you today as we celebrate Reverend Sally Bartholomew and Reverend Aikya Param for culminating this remarkable journey, the Science of Mind Ministerial Ordination Program. Dr. Sunshine mentioned a little bit about the program in her opening comments. And what we are here today to bear witness to is the dedication, the growth, the spiritual evolution of both Reverend Aikya and Reverend Sally as they embark upon a new path of service that is based in compassion and love and in enlightenment. This path is not for the faint of heart. Those of us who have traveled it can say yes to that. It requires delving into the deep places of our consciousness, facing challenges, meeting resistance, and emerging with a profound sense of purpose. Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya have chosen as their theme for today, transforming lives. As we share this sacred time together, for those of you who may be new to the teachings of Science of Mind, transforming lives is one of our central concepts. This philosophy helps us to understand the nature of our mind and embrace the interconnectedness of all. It is a philosophy that acknowledges the potential within each of us and the power of our thoughts to co-create and shape our reality. Our minds are like fertile soil, capable of nurturing the seeds of possibility into the vibrant forms and the blossoms of our dreams. Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, I encourage you to take this moment to reflect on this transformative journey that has brought you to this sacred threshold today. Go within and remember to call forward the love, the wisdom, the understanding, and the spiritual principles that you embody entering the next phase of your ministry. This ordination ceremony acknowledges that being an ordained ministry is more than just a title. It is a responsibility. To transform lives, you're entrusted with the well-being of the souls who will turn to you for guidance, for inspiration, and for solace. What I'm sharing with you now, you will hear again, and you will also respond to as you repeat your ordination vows. The rite of ordination in our Science of Mind philosophy is sometimes likened to that of a marriage. It is the marriage of the minister to spirit. It is a lifetime commitment. Your journey through the ordination process has equipped you with the tools to uplift, inspire, and facilitate transformation. The true power of a minister reaches beyond the eloquence of their words. It conveys the authenticity of the heart. Your words will be a balm for the wounded, a beacon for the light in moments of darkness, and a source of comfort for those navigating the complexities of life. You will be compassionate listeners and wise spiritual guides. Step boldly and confidently into this new chapter of your ministry, embracing the divine calling that beckons you forward. Let love be your guide, wisdom your companion, and compassion your language. You may think of this path of transformation as working with a personal trainer who monitors your progress, adds weights, introduces new stretches. I see some chuckling in there. We know what it's like. And of course, the trainer monitoring our growth and our experience and our achievements adds more weights, adds new stretches, adds new resistance bands. We know the drill. As ordained ministers, the universe will add weights and present you with resistance and challenges to develop your spiritual muscles. May your paths be illuminated with the radiant light of divine wisdom. May you continue inspiring and uplifting all who cross your sacred, purposeful journey. Congratulations, Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya. Embrace the role of ordained ministers and bring your teachings of Science of Mind to all who serve. Thank you. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, there we are. Now we will move into the next phase of our ordination ceremony. And so I invite Reverend Sally, Reverend Aikya, and Reverend Sunshine to please stand. It is my honor as the presenting minister to present to the community Reverend Aikya and Reverend Sally Bartholomew and Reverend Aikya Param for ordination. And some brief comments that I have about Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, and they're both smiling because they don't know what's coming next. We each had a unique and special journey that connected us in a myriad of ways. I'll start with Reverend Sally first. Have you ever encountered people in your life that have just been there? You don't necessarily remember where you met, what the circumstances were that you met under. And this is how I feel about Reverend Sally. She's just been there. We have supported each other in various ways, and then I had the honor of being her sponsoring ministry for the last leg of her journey to ordination. During that journey, we celebrated, we laughed, we cried, we questioned, we said, do we really want to do this? And I would say, do you really want to go this route? And in the end, the answer was always yes, because it was a sacred calling that invited Reverend Sally into this process. And Reverend Aikya, we go way back. Not that far back. But Reverend Aikya and I began our connection and this journey together at the East Bay Church of Religious Science. And when Reverend Aikya left to pursue other interests and other opportunities, we still maintained a connection. And it wasn't like we were on the phone with each other on a regular basis or exchanging emails or text. It was just like we would show up for each other at those opportune times, whether it was to celebrate something or to just reminisce about something or to be there in support for one another on this spiritual journey. I had the privilege and the honor of working with Reverend Aikya in her New Thought Prison Outreach Ministry as a member of the board, and our connection deepened even more there. And I began to realize Reverend Aikya is the real deal. And I can say that about Reverend Sally also. Both of these ministers are the real deal, and I feel that they are deserving and have earned this point in time in their transformation.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I want to be sure you hear me. There's a bit of a change to the program. Our regional service coordinator, Reverend Susan Overland, couldn't be with us today. So I, as the presiding minister of this center, will also serve as the ordaining minister. So, Reverend Robert, are you convinced that Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, whom you are presenting, are prepared and worthy for the office and the work of an ordained minister of religious science?
We have inquired concerning Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya. And the inquiry reveals a resounding yes. They are qualified and prepared for this journey.
Beautiful. These candidates have been found to be prepared and ready to receive ordination in the Centers for Spiritual Living, having now completed the required period of licentiate ministry.
We are gathered here to witness a magnificent ceremony of initiation, welcoming, and transformation. Ordination is an initiation of a licensed minister into the lifelong calling of ministry. It is a welcoming on behalf of the family of ordained ministers of our faith, of one or more, into their ranks. And so Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, Reverend Robert, as the presenting minister, will now charge you with your ministerial commitment.
Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, the ties of a minister to their ministry represent a bond that is sacred, empowering, safe, consistent, and with this ceremony, everlasting. With ordination, you step into a new life of spiritual service and commitment. Ministry, with its glorious moments of holy revelations and its challenging moments of messy group dynamics, becomes your lifelong passion, your own classroom or crucible. Today, you enter into a path of no return. You sure you want to take that step? After this, there's no escaping. You become a minister for life. And trust me, it is such a wonderful place of being. This union is to be undertaken with great consideration and respect for your ministry, for those people who comprise your ministry, and for you yourself. Out of all of the possibilities of giving your gifts to the world, you have chosen to be a minister for the Centers for Spiritual Living. This is a tremendous blessing to us, and we want it to be a tremendous blessing for you year after year. Over the years, your ministry and you will change, but your unchanging commitment, the desires of your heart that brought you here today, will ensure a life of sacred satisfaction and your ministry. Do not hold back. Do not hold back. Give all the wisdom, the organizational skills, and the love that you have to give. Of course, love is the most important part. A minister must have the breadth of heart that holds others' hearts, comforts, heals, and remains deep enough to serve your own spiritual growth. Do not be an island. Seek the help and the support that you need. Get your rest and take breaks. Remember, you are committed for the long haul, and life is long. Let your thoughts be centered on the divine and seek to see the Holy One in every person you meet. I charge you, dear ministers, to teach, to heal, to love, to minister to all, and may the peace of God be ever in your heart. The truth of God be expressed through your words, and the light of God move through your hands into the world that awaits the mighty gifts that you have. Now, Reverend Sunshine will continue with the ordaining ceremony.
I will continue, and I just am having a reminiscent moment because in 2017, when I was ordained, Reverend Robert was the ordaining minister, and he was the regional service coordinator. So I went into a zone of listening to the vows because I've heard them, to what he was saying. So now I get to give them to you. That's so lovely. Well, Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, I'm so proud to be here with you and to be your senior minister. The Centers for Spiritual Living has consented to this convening of this ordination, service in recognition of the fact that your ministry is precious to it. This spiritual community offers you this celebration to demonstrate your sincerity and commitment to its ever-enlarging dream of growth in consciousness that will lift the human spirit and heal a troubled world. Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
You have heard the charge offered by Reverend Robert. I ask you, are you prepared to take your vows to become ministers for life of the Centers for Spiritual Living? Do you dedicate yourselves to respond faithfully to the needs of those who call upon you? Will you bring the very best that you are into your ministry for the love of the people you serve and for your own deepening? Please fold your hands over your heart, maybe one hand, Reverend Aikya, so you can hold on to your cane. One is fine. We know you got another one that you could put up there. You're holding your hands over your heart as a symbol of the sanctity with which you take these vows. Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, do you promise to love and be loyal to the teachings of the science of mind and to the ministry you serve? Do you promise to minister to all those who come to you to the best of your ability and seek to see the face of God in all people? Do you promise to maintain your own spiritual growth, which is so critical, so that your relationship with Spirit is always fresh and new? And do you promise to promote harmony, peace, and right action wherever you find you are called to minister? If so, please answer, I do. Y'all heard him. We got witnesses. And now I will administer these vows to each of you individually. And I'll start with Reverend Aikya. If you will, please repeat after me. I, Reverend Aikya Param, commit to my ministry for my lifetime. I promise to open my life to God. So that I may hear what is mine to do. I promise to tenderly care for all who come to me in spiritual need. From this day forward, I will seek to make the world a place of increased love, peace, and joy. I send my word forth to heal and to prosper. And I pray that God is fulfilled in, through, and as me. So I'm going to step closer to you because it's getting deep now. And I'm going to put my hand around you. Is that all right? That's wonderful. Beloved Reverend Aikya, because you have been found eminently qualified for ordination, and because you have made your sacred vows in front of your colleagues, family, and friends, by the authority vested in me by the Centers for Spiritual Living, I now confer upon you ordination as a minister for spiritual living. Congratulations. We have more, so I'm going to allow Reverend Aikya to have a seat. And I'm going to call Reverend Sally forth. You ready?
I'm ready.
Please repeat after me. I, Reverend Sally Bartholomew,
I, Reverend Sally Bartholomew,
commit to my ministry for my lifetime.
commit to my ministry for my lifetime.
I promise to open my life to God
I promise to open my life to God
so that I may hear what is mine to do.
so that I may hear what is mine to do.
I promise to tenderly care for
I promise to tenderly care for
all who come to me with spiritual need.
all who come to me with spiritual need.
From this day forward,
From this day forward,
I will seek to make the world
I will seek to make the world
a place of increased love, peace, and joy.
a place of increased love, peace, and joy.
I send my word forth
I send my word forth
to heal and to prosper.
to heal and to prosper.
And I pray that God is fulfilled
And I pray that God is fulfilled
in, through, and as me.
in, through, and as me.
And now I'm going to step closer. You know, it gets deep here.
I know.
Right. Beloved Reverend Sally, because you have been found eminently qualified for ordination, and because you have made your sacred vows in front of your colleagues, family, and friends, by the authority vested in me by the Centers for Spiritual Living, I now confer upon you ordination as a minister for spiritual living. Congratulations. And I'm going to have you sit down for a moment, just while we continue on. There's more. The Centers for Spiritual Living has a special gift for each of you, which is a symbol of your newly acquired station as an ordained minister. The stole that will be conferred upon you shortly is a symbol of commitment to the promises that each of you have already made. Devotion to a life of spiritual service and a reminder of the power of the infinite one that is available to all present whenever you wear this stole in your years to come. It is a garment of spiritual power. Your ordination stole is purple and gold. Although colors mean different things to different people, let me tell you what Centers for Spiritual Living says that it means to us. Among people of faith, purple is understood to be the color of devotion, mystery, peace, and nobility. Purple combines the calm stability of blue and the fierce energy of red. It is trimmed in gold, which is ultimately linked with divinity. Gold symbolizes wealth, used wisely, and represents illumination, love, compassion, and courage. The satin on your stole fabric is a reminder that your ministry, just like your life, is woven from the threads of many people, events, and understandings. And it is all of these many different experiences that make your life, as well as your ministry, strong in a beautiful tapestry of truth. The smooth quality of satin reminds us that in rough spots of our ministry, this is for you all that already have the stoles too, listen up. That in rough spots of our ministry, which we do have, don't we, Reverend Robert? And we pray through it. That's an ad lib, you know, I can't help it. If we lean into our spiritual being, it is one of the smoothness beneath and ever present in the midst of life's challenges. Our Science of Mind symbol is on your stole, expressing the triune nature of God, just as our beautiful stained glass window does, which continually reveals itself in the heart of our lives, reminding us that Spirit descends into and expresses as all form, that is all sacred, all is divine. Every time you wear this stole, every time, you are linked with all clergy and spiritual teachers around the globe and across the countries and across our movement, I add. You carry upon your shoulders when you wear this the form and the essence of your ministry, clarity, love, and the strength of a great philosophy and a rich and fulfilling way of life. This stole is a loving blessing to you and to all you bless in your ministry. So Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, the time has come for you to accept this symbol of spiritual power. May it be that each time you put this stole on your shoulders for all the years of your ministry, that you draw strength from every spiritual worker from time immemorial, which also donned a garment of spiritual power. May you remember the love that accompanies the presentation of this stole here today. When you wear this garment, may you always enter the clarified partnership with the divine. That means if you want to, this is my PS, if you want to walk around the house and you're feeling some kind of way, that you can go put your stole on and remember these vows. Now is the time to bestow the stole on these blessed members, ministers, one at a time. And so let us start with Reverend Aikya, and hang on just a second. You have chosen Reverend Catherine Sachs to bestow the stole on you, and I ask her to join us now on the stage. And you may stand, Reverend Aikya. And I want all of you, before this stole goes on, to just breathe in prayers of love as you just heard what this represents. Oh, this is for Reverend Sally. And it's for me, because it's just such a sacred time. It's such a sacred thing that you are a part of. And let me say that this is being presented in this almost 80-year-old sanctuary that has been prayed up with so much pageantry and ritual and ceremony. So it is more than it appears. This is for you as well, as this is being put around her shoulders. Let us congratulate Reverend Aikya Param. You may be seated. You need some support? Reverend Sally, you have chosen your husband, Dave Bartholomew, and your daughter, Alicia Jarroman, to bestow the stole on you. So as you stand, I ask them to come, please. And once again, beloveds, please breathe in prayers and send them love silently as they come forth to place this stole on Reverend Sally Bartholomew. Let us congratulate her. And so it's time for their remarks. And since you are standing, Reverend Sally, we're going to start with you as you put your flowers down, and I'm going to give us a moment. I'm going to bring the stand over to her and put the mic up. Thank you all so much.
I brought props. I think I'll stay here, yeah, thank you. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this, but the props came along. So let me put these out here first. Transforming lives. That's our theme. And intention can transform yarn and wire into flowers and butterflies. So, like that butterfly coming out of the cocoon, I really do need a moment. I can feel the energy just flowing, and I need a moment to steady myself and allow these divine blessings of everyone coming forward to fill my wings. Thank you. In the program, we named many, certainly not all, who came together to make this celebration fabulous. I want to highlight one person and add another. So I would like to highlight Reverend Kathy Schauner. She's gonna make me cry. She has been my ministerial litter mate, my mentor, my prayer partner, and the event organizer for this. And I want to let you know that my husband and I eloped because I'm not good at that. Thank you, Reverend Kathy. And the other person I want to add is my husband, my life partner. He has fully supported all of this, and sometimes been swept up in the process, as you might imagine, of transformation. Thank you, David. Life truly is about transformation, and it does happen most effectively, not completely in a vacuum, not completely in our own individual cocoons, but in community, like the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. So I want to say thank you to this community. Thank you. One of the most well-known symbols of transformation is the butterfly. Maybe you were able to pick up one of the butterflies available in the front when you came in. If you didn't and there's still any left, please do, as this memento of this transformation and this process. You might be aware that a butterfly begins its life as a caterpillar. Okay, it starts as an egg, but then it becomes a caterpillar, a very hungry caterpillar, one that goes around gobbling up all the leaves and nutrients that it can find. It's called from within to a freedom barely imaginable from its lowly place on the ground and in the leaves. I can certainly relate to that caterpillar. And much like the caterpillar, when I first discovered the science of mind, I devoured all the books. I think Reverend Robert made comment about that. I devoured all the books. I took all the classes I could find on the philosophy, and I don't see her in the audience, but I am going to call out Bonnie Allen and her Quick Start class, the very first class I took that sparked my awareness of science of mind. Thank you, Bonnie Allen. What I didn't really fully appreciate at the time was I was beginning to learn about God and spiritual practices and all of that, but I was really beginning to learn about myself, to grow into myself. And as Dr. Dan says in his Guidance for a Spiritual Journey on December 16th, that our wish here is not to bring people to us, to the science of mind. It really isn't that. Our wish is to bring people to themselves. And he also says on December 13th that the whole art of preaching, what we do when we stand up here, that whole art of preaching is to convert or transform the mind into a living fountain, not a dead sea, not even a reservoir of dogmatic ideas. That's not the science of mind. Transforming lives is what science of mind does. It teaches us spiritual living. And what I experienced through the study of the science of mind and following these callings and stirrings of my heart, Dave, is this okay? Do you think I could take this class? Can I do this? Much like the caterpillar, when it stopped eating and started to spin that cocoon, I knew that these callings were leading me to my highest good. The caterpillar becomes the butterfly. I'm a minister. In studying the Aramaic teachings, I think Dodie may have spoken to the Aramaic teachings, or Deborah, I heard a translation from John chapter 8, verse 32. You might know it as, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Well, in the Aramaic teachings, it can be translated as, if you find a light emanating from your heart, it will lead you in the right direction. You'll know what to hold on to and what to release. Transforming lives is what we do here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And the more I look for evidence of spirit, the more I find it. Everywhere and in every one. I am living consciously as a vehicle of spirit, awake and aware of Spirit's presence and power in my life. And this transformative journey of ministry, it's made even better in company of others. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like a giant cloud of butterflies migrating north to Monterey, California, we are moving and transforming together toward that ultimate goal, as Ernest says in our What We Believe statement of principles, of complete freedom from every discord and a life that works for all, here and now. Steady on my feet now, I step forward as Reverend Butterfly. I thank you for sharing this with me.
And now it's my turn. So I used to tell stories about my early morning memos. I haven't had very many. What I mean is when I would wake up in the morning with a thought in my mind, and I knew I didn't come up with it. This was God's early morning memo, okay? So I was wondering, what am I going to talk about in this few minutes I have? And I got one of those early morning memos. Gratitude. Wow. All right. So gratitude. So when I get doing talks, I look everything up, so I had to check out. What did Ernest Holmes say about gratitude? And he clarifies what he's talking about. He's not talking about something that's a result. You give me something nice, and I say thank you. No, not a resultant thing, but a causative energy. That's the gratitude he wants to tell us about. A causative energy that reveals the ever-present abundance of the universe. And then I thought, well, okay, what am I grateful for? And something about this talk, it was being dictated, okay? Because the first thing that came to my mind was my maternal grandmother. She was committed to living the truth to the best of her ability. And she had a pretty hard time. She was a good Catholic woman who wanted to practice birth control. And the priest told her, well, her name was Eunice. My name was Eunice too, before I got a new name, Aikya. Eunice, you can do as you wish, but if you do that, you can't receive Holy Communion. My grandmother loved Holy Communion. She had 11 children. 7 survived. When I was a little tiny girl, I would run in to visit with her, and by that time she was bedridden. But sitting in the bed in this wonderful, lacy, satiny bed jacket, she'd be reading the Bible. Now, in those days, people in the Catholic Church were discouraged from reading the Bible. I didn't realize my grandmother was a rebel. But I would come up and give her a big hug, and she would tell me what the story was, what she was learning reading the Bible. And I just loved it, and I think that planted a seed for me to always love studying the Bible. I was crazy about Reverend Deborah Johnson's course in ministerial school. I'm getting a lot out of all that we're learning from the Aramaic Bible that Sally and I and others look into to find out, wow, is that really what it said? Ooh, that's neat. So she planted a seed in her own little rebellious way. Only when I was in high school and was looking for the Bible in the high school library, and the dear nun said to me, oh, we don't read the Bible. You don't? I heard my name is in the Bible. I want to find it. Well, I had to give that idea up. But my grandmother showed me a drive to know the truth that led me to become a practitioner and to go to ministerial school. That was a very important little visit I used to have every now and then with grandmother. And of course, we've all heard about gratitude practice. When my mother and I moved away from the Catholic Church, we went to Christian Science. My mother would totally love religious science, but she didn't live long enough to follow with me here. But we did go to Christian Science. And in the Christian Science Church, there are 2 readers that read on Sunday, and then there's a practitioner. They don't have lots of practitioners, they only have 1. Anyway, at that time I was really, I didn't know it, but I was depressed. And I decided to go to the practitioner. Maybe this prayer works, let's give it a try. So I went to the practitioner and she told me to get a little notebook. Oh, first she said, is everything terrible? Can't you think of anything that's good? And I really had to think for a long time. I finally said, well, I'm alive. She told me to get a little notebook and every day write in it 3 things I was grateful for. I could write more than 3, but I had to write 3. So I got my little notebook and I got started. And I wrote 3 things. And then I wrote 5 things. And then I wrote 8 things. Pretty soon I was filling pages full of things that I was grateful for, and my whole mood changed. And I tell this story because it still blows my mind that it took a week to totally get rid of that feeling of darkness and to bring back the light. Another thing I'm grateful for has to do with my roommate who's sitting in the audience, Marilyn Flower. One day, I have to thank Marilyn, first of all, for following her own joy and studying to become a practitioner at East Bay Church. She invited me to the celebration, welcoming, I don't know, I think there were maybe 18 new practitioners. It was a huge bunch. I'm not sure of the number, but it was lots. And because of that, I got to hear Reverend Eloise Oliver speak about Ernest Holmes' essay, What a Practitioner Prays For. And I had studied, of course I studied all sorts of things in Catholicism. I had studied Sanskrit, the Bhagavad Gita, 6 Upanishads. Reverend Eloise was saying the same thing that I had learned. I could be me and know all that cool stuff and not have to wear a sari all the time and be in my own Western community. What a deal is that? I am so grateful. So I have to thank Marilyn for inviting me to that welcoming service. And Reverend Eloise Oliver remained an example for me for the many years that I was there at East Bay, of a minister who never stops being committed to her own spiritual growth. Reverend Eloise studied meditation at the Siddha Yoga Ashram. Reverend Eloise went up and had a private meeting with Amma, the South Indian saint who was famous for hugging everyone. She had a private meeting with her before the crowds came. She showed me that even when you're a senior minister, you still keep growing and never stop. So, and another of my early morning memos that I received, I was at East Bay, and I woke up and the message was, you should go to Oakland Center for Spiritual Living for Practitioner Studies. Wow, I was shocked. I mean, I'd never been up here. It was not a thing I wanted to do. I was perfectly happy at East Bay, thank you. And I even told Marilyn about it. You know what I woke up with in my mind? And she said, well, I don't know, go up and see what you think. And Reverend Joan was here at the time and welcomed me. So once again, Spirit leads you, if only you will listen, if only we listen. And I'd like to come to the end of this by remembering something. Meister Eckhart said, probably in German, sorry, I have to do it in English, if the only prayer you say is thank you, it's enough. And I want to especially take this time to thank Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman and the board at Oakland Center for allowing us to have this wonderful celebration here today. and to really take that next step in our lives. Thank you so much for listening so patiently. And pay attention to those early morning memos.
Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You'll do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes the deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, You'll do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You'll do amazing things.
My name is Dorothy Mendez, and I'm an emeritus practitioner here, and I will be doing our invocation. But what I'm going to ask of you, if you're able, to stand and give our new ordained ministers of hoo-hey, hooray! And believe me, they do amazing things for this community. They are two amazing people. And welcome to Lifetime Ministry, and welcome as our ordained ministers here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. It has just been an awesome, awesome time for all of us. Agreed? All right. So let us just take a moment to go within. Breathing in the love and the light of God. Giving thanks for what has taken place here today. Giving thanks for the glory of God. As this ordination of Reverend Sally and Reverend Aikya, who have blessed this community with their love, with their joy, with their spirit, with their support, that peace that passes all understanding. We give thanks. We give thanks for this ordination. We give thanks for all who participated in it today. We bless Reverend Robert, our Reverend Sunshine Michelle, and Reverend Catherine, who helped organize this. Our presenters, Reverend Jerry, Reverend Catherine Socks. Giving thanks, dear God, for this wonderful, wonderful occasion. We bless the sound people who are taking us to Zoom and recording all of this. We bless them. We bless our wonderful angel musicians who are playing and singing amazing things for us today. And I bless the social hall as we prepare to go and partake of the wonderful, wonderful spread that our beloved Ruth Jackson puts on for us, and blessing all her committee who helped put this together. And we bless the food, knowing that it is awesome. She always does wonderful things for us. So I am knowing for each and every one of us that we are truly transformed and renewed by what has taken place here today. And I know for each and every one of us, something wonderful has touched our hearts, and we are truly transformed for that. So I'm giving thanks for everything that took place. And it is with great gratitude that I say, and so it is. Amen. Reverend Sunshine will come forward.
I'm going to close this out today, but let's yet again give another round of applause to everybody who had anything to do with this. All of our volunteers and everyone on program, our candidates. Those of you who came from near and far, our colleagues from other centers, you're always welcome here. Thank you to our community members, our board, everyone who had anything to do with this, we give thanks. And so now what we are about to do, this completes our ordination service. As Dorothy just blessed the food, we have a wonderful reception over in the social hall. What we are going to ask is first that the candidates exit, and then we're going to allow the ushers will guide us in processing out those who processed in recessing out. We recess out, process in. There we go. In recessing out. And the rest of you, if you could hold tight in here so you stay dry, we will come let you know when to come over, because we're going to give a moment or two for the candidates to be able to take in the beautiful social hall and the food that is prepared, and just to witness that with their family. And we'll come let you know when to come over. Okay? Willing? So just hold tight. And Deb, if you could play a little exit music. Thank you so much.